Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at another rank 1 in the world team here from MatteorobPs. Follow them on Twitter as well, you see them on the left side here, most likely at the current time as well. You're going to see the team of Charizard. It's always Shadow Charizard because it's just so much better than the normal version. We're going to have the 90s, it's the MatteorobPs here. We of course have the 90s on the opponent's part here, which is a little bit of a tricky Pokemon to deal with, but not when they throw away the ball, because now we're gonna get 2 shields advantage here, which is going to be pretty decent for us. And yeah, we're going to have here the Charizard. By the way, Charizard honestly is still my favorite Pokemon to use for the Open Great League. As you're going to see here right now, Ice Beam coming through, we don't care too much about it, Blast Burn coming through as well, and yes, we can just 2-shot in a Azumarill with a resisted move with our Charizard. It is insane. I love this Pokemon. It is my favorite Pokemon to use in All Go Battle League. But yeah, this team is very, very cool and I can highly recommend it to you. Played 3 sets, went positive in all of them. Had I think 2 4-1s and 1 3-2. So very, very good team. Highly recommend it to you. Like there are sometimes teams for like the top teams in the world or whatever where I feel like, okay, they're not really that ideal. I wouldn't really use them, whatever. Here, very unlucky that they swapped out at the same time as we did, because if I just threw my charge move, I would have been able to win this first one here, but unlucky that we had the same idea at the same time. I want to catch the move while they wanted to, I guess, also catch a move on their Medicham, don't know. But yeah, honestly, this team was a lot of fun. But yeah, sometimes the rank 1 teams are a little bit different because the meta that they face up there is pretty stale. Basically, you encounter the same opponents all the time if you're like in the top 100 or something. So you kind of know what you're facing, and if there's some certain Pokemon or some certain matchups, like for example, most people I don't really think going to play Shadow Victreebel in the top 100 anymore. So like you can basically already say this is most likely not going to come, and this can help you out quite a bit for team building. So sometimes team building for the rank 1 in the world team does not always help for lower ratings, but I think this team should be viable in basically any rating. A little bit tricky can be Lantern, of course. Lantern will be the biggest issue for this team because you only really have the lead that can really deal with it. You're going to definitely bait it out with either the Noctowl or the Charizard as a Say-Swap. It really depends on what you want to run as a Say-Swap here as well, by the way. You can go for either, because the Charizard going to be very decent in general, because if you have like energy advantage and you can bait, you're going to be better off there. Blast Burn can just one-shot everything basically. But also Noctowl is just so bulky that basically all matchups that you're going to lose, you're just barely going to lose. So you're going to get them into farm down range for your Medicham, which is not always the case with like something like the Charizard. Their Charizard sometimes just doesn't put them into the range for that. So here for this team, I went for the Charizard save swap. Their main reason for this decision here is that while Medicham is going to be in our lead here, we're going to have basically a Pokemon in the lead that can deal with steel types. If I swap in my Noctowl, you can still deal sometimes with something like the Galarian Stunfisk, I guess, but usually you don't really want to have a steel type against your Noctowl, while our Charizard is pretty decent against them. So I feel like Charizard is the better say-swap for this team. And honestly, it worked out really well for me as well, so I can highly recommend this one for you as well. But yeah, if you want to know the say-swap for this team, it's usually Charizard. What's also cool about Charizard is, of course, that they're going to get so much energy here, going to be able to go for a charge move here as well. Cool thing about this one is just the way how Dragon Claw plus Blast Burn works together, because if you go for one Dragon Claw here, you need a 1 less fast move still to get to the next Blast Burn, which is so nice. As you're going to see here, I was able to reach the next charge move in time, allowing me to knock out the opponent's Noctowl in time as well, and allowing me now to farm them down with my own Noctowl. We see the Altaria coming in. We have an energy lead here. Usually Altaria can win this matchup, but not with an energy lead. Like, there is no way. I just have to go for 3 Sky attacks, especially if I have still my Medicham in the back, which is going to function here as a sponge for some energy from the opponent, as they have to throw anyway because we have the Ice Punch. We will be able to go for 1 Sky attack now, gonna get them low, and we can go for another one to knock them out. Very good game, a lot of fun. Double Flyer is just so strong right now. Let's see, next opponent, we're going to encounter Medicham against Charizard. This is honestly the biggest weakness for this team in my opinion. You're going to see me here going straight for the Dragon Claw. Why do that? It won't knock them out. They could let this move go through, but they don't do this anyway. if you swap out and you throw your charge move, basically like you go into a mirror match and you basically throw your charge move before the opponent throws the charge move, and they have like a 2 or a 3 turn move or a 4 turn move. Like 1 turn move it doesn't work, but for 2 plus you basically negate the 1 turn that you needed to switch out as well with that, because the opponent usually sneaks 1 move anyway in there if you have the same turns there, while here you're going to be able to just then only let them sneak in 1 turn because they were 1 turn ahead already. So if you throw earlier, you're going to basically gain 1 turn on them, which basically puts you onto the equal amount, even though you had to swap into it, which is some kind of nice tech for that. But yeah, here we're going to see a very funny matchup like this. Look at this directly here, like definitely take it, like take like this one here, because my opponent, for whatever reason, decides to swap their Charizard into my Psychic there, and we're going to have a Noctowl here right now, and we can go ahead. I'll let the first move go through. It's going to be a Zap Cannon, and Noctowl is so bulky, you're going to see here already, we take this Zap Cannon actually pretty easily. Like, it's a nuke, it is super effective, and we're still going to be able to survive it to the point where we can just go ahead and go for a shield and go for the Sky Attack. And now we can say goodbye to that Registeel, thanks to the amazing Sack Swap from my opponent into the Psychic of the Mayhem. I still don't understand what they want to do here, but hey, that's fine. Next opponent, we're going to see an Abomasnow, and we're going to see a Lantern. We have to stay in here, of course. But Abomasnow is something that I can still deal with the backline anyway. We have 2 flying types, while of course Ice typing going to be a little bit tricky. They still have the part Grass typing, which is going to be very nice for us. We're going to see the Psychic coming through here, gonna get the defense drop. Honestly, I have no idea when it was the last time I saw a defense drop from a Psychic from a Mayhem, but interesting to see it again. Like, it's a very rare occurrence and really helped us out here because we were able to farm down thanks to that. They're gonna go into a Gliscor, so Ice Punch would have been better, but they shield up anyway. Now we're going to see the Abomasnow, and we can go into our Charizard as a counter. We can shield up the move as they went straight for the Weather Ball here. I will be able to just go up a little bit extra here and gonna get some more energy. Go for the Dragon Claw now, knock them out, and the opponent's Gliscor will not have a great time here against the incoming Blast Burn. They have to call the bait basically here, and they do try to do that, and it didn't work out whatsoever. Next opponent, a pretty awkward lead for us. Altaria, this is something that I really don't want to face in the lead here, but I can go ahead and go for the Ice Punch. Ice Punch going to do some decent damage, and I can swap out into the Noctowl as you're going to get out the Swampert. I remember this matchup as well. This was really not ideal for me either, but let's take a look at this one here. We can go ahead, I'll let this next move go through as well. Going to be the Hydro Cannon, as we can go ahead and go for the Sky Attack now as well, as he can shield up the next charge move. Because I know that they have Altaria in the lead, what I kind of feel like I want to do here is I kind of want to just get the final shield of the opponent, and I don't even want to get switch advantage here really, because I feel like it doesn't really help me. If Altaria has some energy, it's going to one-shot both my Machamp as well as my Charizard, so okay, it wouldn't one-shot the Charizard, but it would get it very, very low in a range where I don't really want to see it. Like this, we will be able to go ahead and go for the Ice Punch, and honestly, I make a mistake here, and I thought about it as well. I thought about letting this move go through so I can keep the shield for the Charizard, and in hindsight, I don't know why I didn't do that. It is very stupid for me to not do that, because like this, we're going to lose. Like, of course, I couldn't really guess that they have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back because they went into their Swampert instead of the Galarian Stunfisk against my Noctowl, which is, I guess, in hindsight, a very good play, but also really was a weird play. Honestly, like, it doesn't really make too much sense. But for me, at least, I feel like I could have played better if I just kept the shield for Charizard. Basically, Charizard always needs a shield. Like, the health doesn't really matter too much as well, but the shield is just the most important part for Charizard. Here, my opponent going to call the bait twice, and we're going to see the Sableye coming through. We can go ahead and go for another bait here as well. 3 baits in a row, going to be able to get the shield now, and we can go for another one. Trying to get the shield back that they basically stole from me, which worked out pretty well. We can go to the Noctowl now, which will be able to double resist the fast move, but still return, as you can to see here, chunks quite a bit, as we can go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does a little bit more damage. Both are neutral. Shadow Ball just a little bit of a better move, as we will be able to now go ahead and farm them all the way down. They're going to go for a Foul Play, not enough for us, but they're going to swap into their Noctowl, which is a very smart play there by the opponent. Great play by them, as we're going to have to go now into our Medicham. We are forced to do this here, as we're going to have to let this move go through. It's going to be the Shadow Ball, and we can farm them all the way down. We have a ton of energy now, but we don't really have the Pokemon anymore, and we're going to see another Medicham in the back, and that's going to be a little bit of a tricky one now. I have to try to catch the charge move of the opponent. Sadly, no debuff, that would have really helped us, and as we're going to not catch the move here, I'm going to forfeit, but it's okay. Next opponent going to be definitely better. Azumarill can be also a little bit tricky, of course. We're going to have not really the ideal answer for Azumarill. You saw already maybe the video yesterday for the rank 1 team in the world from the day prior, which had Azumarill in there. But this time around, we're going to take a look here at the team that is not with Azumarill and pretty weak against Azumarill. So you see the Play Rough coming through here, but honestly, they go for Play Rough, so that's going to be a Fairy type move. Like, why not swap in our Fire type against a Fairy type that is also part Water? Definitely does make sense, definitely worked out though. Like, we were able to catch a Play Rough onto a Charizard, and that's not only it, we're also going to be able to hit a Blast Burn against the Dunsparce, putting them into farm down range easily for our Medicham. Going to get a ton of energy here right now, which is going to help us quite a bit against the opponent's Azuma, I thought, but I completely didn't really saw how much energy they already had. So we have to go ahead, go for our own Ice Punch here against them, trying to get them low. They're going to swap out most likely. We're going to see a Nidoqueen coming in. This is actually pretty decent for us. We can go for one Ice Punch here. Gonna get the shield, gonna get the damage now from the second Ice Punch, and we can keep our Medicham alive, allowing us to swap now into our Noctowl, and we can go ahead and just go for the Sky Attack in order to knock out the opponent. This should work out pretty well here, as we're going to see Charge Move coming through here, going to knock them out, and we can now win this game here with our Noctowl farming down the Azumarill. So, good game there. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Bastion in the lead. This is going to be amazing. Please be the team. No, it's not the team, and here I make a huge mistake. Next time, I should just stay in with my Medicham, go for one Ice Punch, and then swap out, because I just don't have a good answer for Charizard. Charizard is honestly the biggest issue for me here. There's not a lot that I can do about this Pokemon at all, but yeah, like, there is not really anything I can do here. And honestly, while we won the lead there, it's still kind of awkward to play this one out. We're going to see the Sky Attack coming through here, and we will be able to go ahead and go for another one here. But let's take a look at this. We're going to see the Blast Burn coming through. They're going to be able to knock us out. I don't know if they had to bait there, but we will be able to farm them down. But of course, they're going to have now a Meganium in the back. Honestly, I most likely made a mistake here as well. Could have went straight for Ice Punch, I think, at this point. Yeah, I definitely could have went straight for Ice Punch. I went for Psychic now. I think I would have lost the MP anyway, so they would have got this damage anyway on me. But I would have been a little bit healthier. I think this might have made a difference. I went for the Psychic because I wasn't sure, but I also was outside and I didn't really pay too much attention to the screen. But it would have made a difference, maybe. Maybe they were forced to throw a charge move against me. Who knows? I definitely could have played this a little bit better, but Charizard Safe Swap is a little bit tricky for this team. Like, honestly, Charizard Safe Swap is the worst possible thing for this team, I feel like. So, something definitely to be aware of. As we can go ahead and go for one Psychic against the opponent here. Let's take a look at this. It's going to do some decent damage, and we're going to have to take another charge move here, which we're going to shield up. Going to be the Play Rough, of course. But what we're going to have to do now is we can go ahead and go for the swap into the Noctowl. Turns out the opponent going to stay in here and going to go for another charge move, which is going to be the Hydro Pump. People are running Hydro Pump. That's kind of wild. Honestly, I haven't really seen this Pokemon at all as a Safe Swap anyway, but Hydro Pump as well is a little bit weird. At least in the current moveset there, like, usually you don't really run Hydro Pump anymore. Let's see here, Sky Attack coming through against the Obama Snow, as we're going to see the farm down here as well. Thank you, Obama, as you're going to be able to go for one Psychic here, trying to knock them out. We're going to get the shield from the opponent, and we can swap into our Charizard, and look at this play. It's going to be the Energy Ball, double resisted instead of the very, like, hard-hitting move, what's called a Weather Ball there against us. The catch was just so insane, and now Charizard is just really on fire here. We're going to see the Blast Burn coming through. Boom, bye-bye there, and we're going to see the Obama Snow coming through as well. We can go for one more Dragon Claw here, and we can say goodbye to them as well. Charizard catching the charge move there. Honestly, was so amazing. They didn't even have to go for the Energy Ball. They could have went for the Weather Ball as well. Like, it's kind of 50-50 there, but this catch really saved us the game here. Next opponent we're going to see here, another Azumarill. Like, I don't know, all the Azumarill came back after my video yesterday. That's kind of wild, but yeah. Also, if you enjoyed this video so far, please leave a like on it. I would really appreciate it. Helps me out quite a bit. There are some reports recently of my videos not getting into any like sub boxes and stuff like this, so please feel free to sub. Please put the bell on there. It really helps me out. So please feel free to do that. Also leave a like on the video. And we're going to see here now the Azumarill going to have to go up against our Medicham. We will be able to farm them all the way down, have a ton of energy here now as well, as we will be able to just go ahead and go for the Ice Punch against the opponent's Toxicroak. Let's take a look at this now. We're going to see the Ice Punch getting the shield from the opponent, and we can catch the move from the opponent as well. And you know already what it's going to be. It's going to be the Mud Bomb. Honestly, the amount of moves we caught this game was kind of wild, or in general, this video was kind of wild, as we're going to get caught here our own. We're going to get the Registeel against us, but we will be able to still reach the Shadow Ball in time, which is going to be fine for us, as the Shadow Ball is going to do some decent damage. You're going to put them into a range where I can farm them down all the way here, and we will see now as well the Medicham coming through. We're gonna go for the Psychic here, and this Medicham is going to get them very low enough that we can farm them down, and low enough that we can go ahead and go for one Ice Punch now against the opponent's Toxicroak. This will not one-shot them immediately here, but it will put them into one counter range, which will be fine for us, and we're going to be able to win this final game here of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on it, and I hope I see you in the next one. On the screen, you're going to see the latest video on the left side with Unova, Stunfisk, and you're going to see on the right side the top teams for the Open Great League. So check those videos out if you are interested in them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!